The alarm clock blared at 5:30 a.m., slicing through the quiet of a small apartment. Daniel Reyes, a single father and former firefighter, rubbed his eyes and turned it off. The faint smell of pancakes drifted from the kitchen where his 10-year-old daughter, Lily, was already trying to cook breakfast. "Careful, kiddo," he said with a smile, helping her flip the pancakes before they burned. Today was the day. After months of rejection letters and odd jobs, Daniel had a final interview for a logistics manager position, a chance to rebuild the life that crumbled after his injury forced him to leave firefighting. As he fixed his tie, Lily hugged him tightly. "You're gonna get it, Daddy. You're brave. Remember what you always tell me?" He smiled. Courage isn't about fighting fires. It's about not giving up, no matter how many times life burns you. On his way to the interview, Daniel's car hit traffic near downtown. A column of smoke twisted into the morning sky, dark and angry. Sirens wailed in the distance. A hotel was on fire. People screamed and poured out onto the street, some barefoot, some coughing. The heat radiated even from across the street. Daniel's instincts kicked in, the same instincts he'd sworn he was done with. He looked at his watch. The interview was in 30 minutes, but then he heard a cry, a woman's voice. "Please, someone, she's still inside." Without thinking, Daniel grabbed a discarded firefighter's jacket from the ground and ran in. Inside, smoke curled through the air, suffocating and blinding. Daniel moved low, his body remembering old patterns. "Call out if you can hear me," he shouted. A faint voice responded from the far corridor. He followed it, kicking open doors, coughing through the haze. Flames licked at the wallpaper. He found her, a woman in her 30s, pinned under a fallen beam. Her leg was bleeding, her eyes wide with terror. "I can't move," she gasped. Daniel braced his shoulder, lifted the beam, and dragged her free. She clung to him as they stumbled through the hall, the ceiling creaking above them. Just as they reached the exit, a section of the roof collapsed. Daniel shielded her with his body, pushing her out through the doorway as fire roared behind them. Outside, she coughed violently, clutching his arm. You saved my life. What's your name?" He gave a tired smile. Just someone who was in the right place. Then he slipped away before the crowd could swarm him. Before we continue, click subscribe and let me know in the comments where you're watching from, because tomorrow I will be giving you another story just as interesting as this one. Now, let us continue. By the time Daniel got home, his clothes smelled of smoke and his hands trembled from adrenaline. He'd missed the interview. He sighed, looking at Lily's drawing pinned on the fridge, a picture of him wearing a firefighter's helmet, standing beside her with a heart between them. That evening, he sat on the couch, disappointment heavy in his chest. He'd risked everything again and lost his one chance. Still, when Lily hugged him and whispered, "You're my hero," something inside him softened. Maybe that was enough. The next morning, his phone buzzed with an unknown number. "Mr. Reyes," said a calm voice, "this is Harper & Co. Logistics. We'd like to reschedule your interview for today if you're still interested." His heart leapt. Within an hour, he was in the company's glass tower, palms sweating as he waited outside the conference room. The door opened, and his breath caught. The woman from the fire stood before him, now wearing a sleek suit, a bandage on her leg, and an astonished expression. "It's you," she whispered, "the man who saved me." Daniel blinked. She's Evelyn Cole," she said, extending her hand with a trembling smile. "CEO of Harper & Cole." The interview began, but the air between them hummed with something more than professionalism. Evelyn listened intently as Daniel spoke about leadership, resilience, and rebuilding after loss. Finally, she set her pen down. "You risked your life yesterday not knowing who I was. That kind of courage can't be taught." Daniel shook his head. It wasn't courage, it was instinct. Sometimes you just do what's right, even if no one's watching. Evelyn smiled softly. "And sometimes the right person is watching." She stood and extended her hand again. "Welcome to Harper & Co., Mr. Reyes. I think we both got our second chance." Weeks later, Daniel walked Lily to school, dressed in a crisp company shirt. Evelyn's car passed by, and she waved before heading for a meeting. Lily looked up at her dad. "Is that your boss?" He chuckled. "Something like that." As they walked, sunlight broke through the clouds, golden and warm. The city was alive again. Daniel once believed that life after the fire was just ashes, but now he saw it differently. Sometimes the flames don't destroy you, they forge you. And sometimes from the smoke, destiny finds its way back to you. Subscribe and leave a heart if you agree.